Hi everyone, I'm Golnoush Hakim-Davar, your professor for Law and Legal Reasoning 3. I'm providing you this video in order to step back as we're going through our reading and think about what is meant by legal reasoning. Often when we think about legal reasoning, we're thinking about judges and judicial reasoning. Judges have to look at the different facts in the case and look at the applicable law and provide reason for their verdict. On the other hand, when we think about lawyers do not make a judgment. They do not make a final decision, but rather they provide the facts and the best evidence to support their argument, their one side and their position. So it is the judge's responsibility to identify and decipher the rules that are most appropriate for the facts presented, and also take the facts and apply the facts to the law that is and rules that are most appropriate. So we're looking at both deductive and analogical decision making or reasoning. But what I want to take us through is really going back and thinking of what is the difference between a scientific reasoning and a judicial reasoning. So judges really begin where the scientist ends. Scientists make predictions and find the best way to test their prediction. They come up with methodological approaches that would create an experiment that could test their prediction, and at the very end of their analysis and experimentation, they may have three possible outcomes. The outcomes could be that the deduction is flawed, it could be that the theory is flawed, or it could be that the experiment design is flawed. These can be the three potential outcomes of a scientist or a scientific process. On the other hand, judicial decisions and judicial legal reasoning is looking at outcomes, not the predictions, and is looking at where those outcomes and how law, previous cases, the trends in previous cases, and the similarities in previous cases could be applied to the case at hand in order to make a final decision on and provide an outcome to the case. So as you see, this is very different than the scientific process, as there is no testing or there is no prediction. So where do you come in as we are going through this class? We come in already as scientists with a research question. So we have looked at the previous cases, we have looked at laws, we have looked at how judges have reasoned, we have looked at cases where the lawyers have provided us with their positions. We may have also looked at where a political position has been provided and came up with a prediction. That is your research question. And now we're going through and thinking about how to best test that prediction. So you're coming in where the judges have already ended. So you're stepping back to where the judges have ended and provided their outcome. It's very important to think about and really position ourselves well as we go through this course in law and legal reasoning, because reasoning is an important part of the judicial process, but it's also an important part of the scientific process. I hope this video is helpful as we think about what law and legal reasoning means. I know this is your final class in law and legal reasoning, but as you go through the reading, we talk about the presidency quite a bit, but we want to keep in mind what is really meant by law and legal reasoning. I'll provide you additional videos on the basics of law and legal reasoning as a reminder and as a refresher. So hopefully this will be helpful for your research as well as for doing well in this class. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.